Hello, Jews. Probably shouldn't have started that way. But here's the thing. I want you guys to learn to enjoy yourself with me while I use my own time to enjoy myself. Here. I think life is about trade-offs. This is kind of why I wanted to do this. When I made my first podcast, a little after COVID started, they had a couple problems. And we're not going to be cheaters or liars and lie about lying and cheating. So we did. But now, if you don't like that, I suggest you keep scrolling. Now, that'd be a great time to start. I'm not making this podcast for anyone other than myself and the people that I enjoy. I just hope that other people will learn while they listen to me spit bile to the depths of the earth. And grow as people, as humans, as Americans, as Hulks, as Hulkbusters, or any type of trans character you want to be. Because I know the nerds are boiling at the pussy about this, but both these guys are what they are because they're not what originally what they were. And how's that not trans? This show isn't about being trans. This show is going to be about what's happening in our country every day right in front of us. All the things we stop giving a fuck about. All the things that Hunter Biden stopped caring about, including myself. Especially including myself. Being fair. I know I started the first 4 words that I said when I started talking to you guys with, a hard J. But let me tell you something, you better wish that was just a hard J and not a hard concentration camp. Also a joke. But is it? It is. It's a joke. I really don't care. Again, my entire point is to create something that people can relate to some degree. I'm not afraid to talk about the things that happen in my mind that people are afraid of mentioning, speaking upon, or even agreeing with. And shit, how hard is that last? You don't even have to say yes in front of that person. All you gotta do is just go home thinking about it. Not feeling like a guilty little cuck bitch. Not feeling like all those weird ass chairs they have in the hotel room in the corner were made for you. Is that something you would like? I sincerely hope so. I refuse to allow myself to go back to the times when I just acquitted myself with all of my sins by just yelling racist slurs. I don't think that accomplished it. And now, at 38 years old, I still don't think it does. I was supposed to make myself some little stack of Cliff Notes here, right? And I have like one little one, little basis sheet, and then everything else that I made was swastikas. Look at that. Alright. Little swastika. You like that? Wasn't my point. I think sometimes people forget the only things that truly matter to you are the ones that you wake up in the morning. And that's the first thing. And even on your hardest night, when sleep is escaping you, the same way that Michael Jackson used to let the little kids run away from him that he fingered in the mansion, escaped him. I think it's the same. Disagree, of course. And that's what I like. That's your right as American. As an American person, they, them, his, hers, I, is, we, was, kings, or whatever, you are allowed to do that. No one can take that. And that's what this show's about.
No. Thank you.
Moving on. I'm supposed to gather my papers, right? I have to gather my papers. Because that's what they do in the news. They go, moving on. After they say the most horrific thing they've ever said, they're like, 19 kids get strangled at Chuck E. Cheese ball pit by pit bulls. And no one gives a shit. They're just, and then the reporter's just like, moving on. Let me gather my papers. So I can paper cut my nipples later. I can come. But in other news, I probably am going to wind up doing this a lot and digressing and stuff, but I think that's part of the fun that we're also going to have together as a couple. Because we're together. And I'm stalking. Kidding. Kidding, Facebook. Zucky and the Lizzies. I don't want them to be, vindicating and banning me. For what? Should they be banning me? Excuse me, person behind the camera. I don't want to assume your gender. Are you a this, they, his, and them lizard person? You fuck lizards? Alright. They're gonna quit after today. But what I really want to talk about is the fact that they keep making Fast and Furious movies. And I just keep wondering how far it's going to go. Like, obviously the next step is space, right? Vin Diesel and the family are going to go fucking start a racetrack on the moon with Paul Walker's ghost or whatever, and who cares? What I'm wondering is when they're going to do Fast and the Furious Juneteenth. Slaves versus pit bulls raised by chubby white women. Because I'm not going back to the movies until I see that. And I think most people would agree. And by most people, I think the lunatics who are probably still listening to this right now. I don't think that's a bad thing. I just always wondered why, Vin Diesel cared so much about family and he doesn't even like his own. How come no one ever questioned? If I was Paul Walker before he got, horrifically burnt up in a car crash or whatever, I would have went to Vin Diesel and I would have been like, sir, you've been talking about family for 6 movies now. You haven't talked to your fucking mom in 7 years. And I'm the one who needs to worry about family? Sir, I think you need to call your mother. Just call your mom. I know you're a fat phobic piece of shit and you don't like her because she gained a little weight after she had your, last sibling or whatever, but maybe she likes to race cars too. And sometimes that's a good thing to think about. Well, you know what? I wish Vin Diesel the best, and I hope he finds his real family. I really hope he does. I feel like Vin Diesel is one of those guys who had period sex the first time, and then he's like, "Yo, I got my blood wings. We're family now," and he meant it. He meant it. He meant to say that to the woman that he raped and stole her blood wings from during her period. He's like, I see the string. Pull it out. Pull it out. Family. That's Fast and the Furious 13. That's like the trailer for the whole movie. It's Vin Diesel raping a woman in a bathroom on Saturn, on one of Saturn's movies. I personally don't want to think about that, but they just will never let it go. They'll never let it go. They couldn't just let Paul Walker blow up in that little fucking lunar explosion he caused in his little Ferrari or whatever in Hollywood. They couldn't just let that go. They wanted the guy to keep living forever. And they're like, and Vin Diesel's like, you know what? It's me and Groot in the next movie. It's Vin Diesel and Groot. We're family now because we fuck. We're trans, gay trees. I don't make the rules up. I kind of do. But do I realistically make the rules up? Do I make the rules up? Do I make the rules up when there was a 300-year period of human existence where people were going to war and they needed band members to participate? What, you needed Timothy to rock the drums as the British were shooting cannons into your fucking friend Nathaniel's face? You needed that? Oh, that boosted morale, right? They're like, yo, I heard this guy play the flute once drunk in a bar. Put him in front of the artillery and let him play the flute. And people wanted that. They asked for it. The same way that like they used to do in like Roman Colosseums and shit when they're like, you know, I know this guy hasn't eaten a decent meal in 3 years. How about we give him a stick and let him fight 4 lions and see who wins? And that'll be good for, you know, the people who bring their kids to watch this. You sick fucks. As much as I see like videos and like old historical, you know, knowledgeable videos, if you will, about white people doing cool shit like inventing a spoon. Because I watch videos of people from Africa all the time eating like monkey stew out of like a fucking, you know, hind quarter bone of a buffalo that they skinned a year ago with their bare hands. I have a very, very, very hard time believing that these people are supposed to like, oh, let them assimilate. All right, I'm not going to get that racist, right? I'm not going to start talking about the shapes of people's skulls and shit like that. But moving on. No, actually, I can't move on. I can't. Not that part, but the part where, like, people would send people to war with just flutes. Like, you knew you were going to ride, a dying horse into a field to go fight a bunch of dudes who wanted to murder. Like, the Japanese during World War II used to target medics, right? Like, they used to get bonuses in their salary if they killed medics and got their tax back. Call of Duty shit, right? Why during the Revolutionary War, or even the fucking goddamn Civil War, when people were still playing flutes, why did no one target these people? Why shouldn't they been shot? All sorts of little kids get shot in all sorts of Catholic schools every day, and we can't shoot the guy playing the fucking flute in the middle of a battle? And who's supposed to be mad? And you still sit here thinking about Jews. Maybe I am. times are getting tough. They're getting tough. They're getting tough and rough. And remember Scruff McGruff? Remember that guy? He was like a dog who just confiscated all the drugs and sold them back to little black kids. Remember him? He wouldn't do shit now either. He would have been selling his dollar store dog food to those same little black kids he was selling the fucking Molly he stole from the rich white kids from. And no one would have given a goddamn single shit. No. Not a single Korean transferee would have given a shit. A lot of these people, they grow up in these hostile environments and they never really learn how to manage, never mind micromanage, which you actually have to learn how to do as you get older, your emotions. And then they wind up only knowing how to emotionally translate trading ramen noodles in jail, because that's where they spend most of their life. They only can trade cheap Chinese noodles in prison. You think that's good? You think the people want that? You think this is what we told them? Not one bit. I blame all of these things on, of course, choice. But realistically, boomers. I would have to say if there was a class, I know there's a term, and I don't even want to mention it because I don't believe in it. I want to make it racist. I think there's a term that I'm going to make up at some point during this fucking tirade I'm about to go on, of how old people deserve to be hit. They should be hit. We're supposed to respect them. You know who respects them? AARP. You know how many scams they've been involved with? We're supposed to believe in those people, believe in those old shitty sacks of shit? I don't think so. And you shouldn't either. And that's why next year I'm not gonna run for any sort of office. What type of selfish, maniacal, excuse me. I misenunciated my M words I wanted to use to disparage a group of people. What type of person would I be to do that? You want me to be your mayor? If I was your mayor, I would replace all road crews and use the batter and the sludge that they use to make chicken nuggets at the Tyson chicken plants to rebuild your roads. That's what I do. I'd make you hate me. I'd want you to come kill me. If you voted for me, I'd want you to come kill me. Now, immediately. Quicker than later. What's left to say, really? Palestine, Israel, Ukraine, Russia. Who gives a shit about white people at war? Right? We only send money to brown people who start the wars and then kill each other. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't even know if I disagree with that. So in conclusion, I had to make tonight short. It was unorthodox. All about to go on vacation. We're about to have a good time at Hershey Park. I don't know if you guys know the history of Hershey Park. So let me start there. Weird place. The guy guys, rather, who started the Hershey plant were more than likely satanic pedophiles. And I mean, I just am assuming that I made that up in the moment, but they probably were having sex with babies and screaming about Satan. Let me start over. In conclusion, I wish all of you people do very, very well. Because I know you have it. Even though most of you are fat as fuck, you can't read. And you have no friends and no tangible assets or family that loves you. I wish you do the best you could ever do with the capacity, with the assets,